Hey friends, and welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you are here. I have recently gone thrifting and I've gotten some more really good deals and I had to share them with you. I've even waited, it's been about a week since I went and they're still boxed up because I wanted to show you what I got as I was unwrapping them. So if you remember, I had a video recently about these bowls. They're Pampered Chef. They're that stoneware stuff, a large one and a small one. And I got the large one for $1 and the small one for 50 cents. I felt like I was stealing them, y'all, because they were so cheap. But that was something I'd gotten a while back. And then something else that I'd gotten a little while back, I had gone to a flea market. And, okay, do you see these things? You see them everywhere. I don't know if they came out in the 70s or I don't know when exactly they were out. But I love them. My grandmother had one and I think I've got it. I've bought some, but here's the deal. They can be expensive. I do not pay a lot for them. This one was like $2 or $3. And right on the other side, in the very next booth, was one identical to this, a brown one that had the 3 teardrops. It was $23. The very next booth, but right beside it, had the exact same one for like $2 or $3. So guess which one I bought? And so I've also got a green one, and I think the green one I've bought more recently. It has the single teardrop. I have a green one. I have a frosted one that is white. And then I have a clear one that's right over there that holds my scrubs and sponges and stuff like that in my sink. And so about a week ago I went thrifting with my sister. And it was kind of funny because the first place we went was an estate sale auction type place. It's not really an auction, but they combine several estate sales together, and once a month they have this big sale in a warehouse. And the first day, like Friday, everything's full price. Saturday, everything I think is 20% off, and Sunday is half off. So we went Friday. And I saw something that I wanted, but not quite at the price that they had it. And so I told my sister if she goes back the next day, because there was some stuff she was looking at, I was like, get me this. And she did, but she still has it at her house. I haven't gone and gotten it yet. And it was a crock. You know, if y'all know anything about me or have seen the lineup of my utensils in my kitchen, it's right here or I'd show you. But I have a lot of crocks, and that's what I put my utensils in. And I'm looking for one that is straight up and down, that or maybe one that's big enough, you know, that it could have some curve to it, but straight up and down, that looks kind of like maybe a butter churn, but that's big enough for my what do you call them, for my rolling pins. Since I'm making bread and all that stuff now, I wanted some to put my rolling pins in, and like wooden utensils and things like that. And so she went back the next day and got it for me, and it was $12, but it was an original old antique crock, and I can't remember if it has the blue stripes or not. Maybe not. I can't remember. I'll have to show it to you in another video. But then after we left there, she was like, let's go to this other one. Well, she went to one. I thought she was talking about a different one. And so I went to a different one than she went to. So we went to 2 different flea markets. And then we realized what we had done. And I went back to the one where she was. And then we looked around there. And I saw a big bowl, because y'all know I'm into bread baking now. And I saw this really big bowl. And I was like, that looks like a really nice bowl to like mix your bread in, to let it proof in and all that. And so I just thought about it. And after we were done, I went back to look for it. And I could not find it anywhere. I thought I'd seen it way back in the back. And so I walked up, like she was ready to go. She was standing up at the counter talking to the ladies that worked there. And I was like, do you remember where I saw that bowl? And she was like, yeah. And the lady was like, I do too. It's right there. I saw you looking at it. And she was like, that is a nice bowl. And so, you know, they're trying to sell something. But it was a nice bowl. And it was $15, which is not really, it's a little bit more than what I would normally pay. But it's a Pampered Chef. It looks basically new, almost like it had never been used, or at least it had been very well cared for. It's dirty right now, y'all, because I've been making bread. See, it's got my flour in it, which I'll tell about that in a little bit. But it's huge. I don't know if you can, do you see how big it is next to my head? And so, say even this way, it's huge. And so I ended up getting it, and it was $15. But still, for a Pampered Chef, big giant bowl like that. I looked online. I don't know how accurate, because I think it's been discontinued, and eBay had a 3-piece set, which I think this is the biggest of the 3, for like $115. And so $15 for the big one is a good deal in my book. So anyway, and so there is that. And then we went to the other place where I'd gone first, because, you know, we were just feeling it, y'all. We shopped for 5 hours. The anticipation was about an hour, because that day, she called me to see what I was doing. And I was like, well, I'm getting ready to go to Cabot, which is the town where my son lives. And I was going to spend the weekend with them this weekend. And she was like, well, can you put off leaving for an hour? It turned into 5, y'all. By the time I got home, I was in pain. But anyway, so we go to the next place. And it is in an the building that was originally a Walmart. So think about a flea market the size of Walmart, and you have to walk up and down every single aisle because you don't want to miss anything. You might miss a deal, y'all. So anyway, so I found a blue frosted one. And it was, and this is my color, y'all. If y'all know me, I love like blue, aqua, minty greens. That color scheme is like this color, and then up towards this color, just like the what's the word, turquoise, all of those colors. Love these colors. And so I saw a blue one, and I didn't even see it first. I was like, ooh, and I was looking at something right beside it that maybe was a crock or crock related, maybe. And then my sister was like, well, did you see that? And I was like, oh. And so it's, y'all, and it's funny because she's as bad as I am when it comes to, ooh, we get excited. You'd think we were like 2 little kids, even though I'm 53 and she's 6 years older than me. But you'd think, like I said, we were little kids. So anyway, so I got this. I saw this, and it was $7.99. And I was like, oh, no. Because that was probably at the top of my range that I would pay for one of these. But it was still not 20-something. Which we saw these everywhere in that flea market. And they were all like $22 to $25. It does have a little bit of paint on it, but it had more, and I washed it off. And so it'll just take a little bit more like rubbing, and I'll get all this off. So I'm not worried about it. And maybe that was why it was a little cheaper, because it did have a little paint on it, but no biggie. It comes off. So there's that. Now, let me tell you. This next thing I'm going to show you. I saw it after we had gone up and down every aisle, and we were in the far back corner, and I could barely walk. I was in pain. I'd been in pain for a long time. And I was just like, we're just ready to go. And so we're rounding the corner to go back towards the checkout. And my eye catches something white. And it just like, ooh, that looks interesting. I must not have gone to that booth, because I don't remember seeing that. Well, I had been to that booth. But y'all, I tend to look very quickly. I scan and then I keep walking. My sister, on the other hand, she likes to go into every single booth and really examine every shelf so that she doesn't miss anything. And I'm just like, if it catches my eye, I'll stop. Otherwise, you know, and like I said, at this point, I was in pain. But that caught my eye. And I was like, ooh. And so I look at it and I see a price tag, $19.99, I think is what it said. Like, okay. And so I look at another piece of it, because there's like several things that all match. And there's no price tag. And then I look back at that one piece that I thought was $20. Oh, it's 8-piece set for $20. And so, let me show you, okay? I want to move these out of the way real quick. Okay, so the first thing that I saw, that I thought was $20. And I don't know if this has been discontinued. It is. Well, let me show you first. Do you see this? This is a bean pot, y'all. It is pretty big, and it comes inside of that little basket, right? So here's the bean pot. Now tell me if that is not just gorgeous, right? And can you say fall decor? And then this is the basket by itself, what it looks like. But I'm going to put that back in there before I break it. Lord have mercy. But it's a bean pot. And what's so funny is, I love bean pots. I love beans and bean pots. And we discuss my mother's bean pot a lot that she had. It wasn't a cast iron bean pot. It was this big bowl that she baked her beans in. And anyway, the fact that this was a bean pot was just like confirmation that I needed to get that. Well, here is the rest of the stuff that came for $20. And so I'm going to show you piece by piece. And I should probably start with this one. Now, and when we counted the pieces, there were more than 8. And we couldn't figure out what pieces they counted and what pieces they weren't counting. And so, anyway, so first, this beautiful tray. I mean, just look at the decoration, okay? And so this is what it is. Like, looking at the back of it, see, I mean, it looks perfect, like brand new. Made exclusively for Home and Garden Party Stoneware Collection. Okay. And so again, this just so pretty. So pretty. Okay, so there's that. And then, and I'm going to have to, like, there are different pieces, and this is part of a piece. When I find all the other pieces, I'll show you. Okay. I'm telling you, y'all. Okay. So, I think this goes with this, and there is a lid. So, when I find it, I will show you. Well, what is this? Oh, I was like, I don't remember this. Also got, this was $3, y'all. I got a little loaf pan because I'm baking bread now. In case I haven't mentioned that before, I'm baking bread. And so it was just $3. Sorry about that. My battery died right in the middle, y'all. Of course it did. So anyway, I got this little loaf pan because I make bread. So let's see what this next one, oh my goodness, y'all. This is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorite pieces of all of them. Is this not gorgeous? Is that not precious? This little, it's so cute. Okay, so there's that. And I don't know that all of these went together. I have no idea. Okay, and then there is this. It is so cute. It's a bigger bowl. It's like, you know, go back to my head. I don't know. This is how big it is. It's bigger around than these. Like, if you can tell, like those will fit right inside that. And I think, well, this matches the tray, and the tray is like a bread tray, and there's supposed to be a container that goes with it that is for your dip or your oil, you know, your olive oil or whatever. But I was thinking it's smaller than that, so I don't, let me see the next thing. I don't know that I may have taken something out. Okay, and then here is, no, maybe this is, yeah, maybe this was everything. Yeah, okay. And so this is like for sugar and sweetener, is I think what it's called, a sugar and sweetener container, canister or something. And so that would be like for the sugar, and then this would be for the cream, maybe? I don't know, y'all. They're all sold separately. But let me just say, I think that's all of the pieces. Yeah, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Technically 10 pieces. So now, the bean pot that I showed you in the wire basket, y'all, that, let me pull you back over here a little bit. That online, like whenever I looked it up, was $89 for that. The next thing I'm going to show you, which is the last thing that goes with this set, was $59. So just between those two, 90 and 60 for these two would be $150, not including all this other stuff. Okay, this is probably this in the bean pot. Look at this gorgeous picture. Look at this. Is this not the most beautiful? And again, it's like perfect. It's beautiful. And the funny thing was, I've been looking for pictures, and that might have been one of the reasons I went back and looked, because I was looking for a glass pitcher, because I want to be able to drink out of a glass pitcher, like pour my drinks from a glass pitcher, and not plastic. And so anyway, but when I see this, I'm seeing big flowers like sunflowers, or, you know, just every flower you can think of, y'all. Any big bold flower. Is that not gorgeous? And again, all of this in perfect condition, y'all. No chips. I'm looking. No cracks. Got a little dirt on it, but it wiped off. See? I mean, it's just like perfect condition. And it's gorgeous. And I got all of this for $20. And I'll move the box down. There we go. So you can kind of see it all together. Let me move my little bread. Okay. So yeah, this and this. Let me pull you down a little further. So yeah, this, and the bean pot, all for $20. I think I did good, y'all. And then this for $15. And I don't know if you noticed it or not, or were paying attention back there. There's something else that I need to clean, like my big bowl. All right, y'all. Do you see it all falling out? Because I haven't cleaned it yet. So this is a KitchenAid attachment. I've had this since 2015. No, I don't think I've ever used it. I may have used it once. No. So, okay, this is the story behind this. And I finally used it, y'all. After reading and hearing a lot of scary, bad reviews for a KitchenAid. But this is what I had. I didn't know any better back then. Didn't know what a mock meal and a Nutri-Meal and all that Wonder Meal. Never heard of any of those things, y'all. I was at the very babyhood of wanting to grind my own grains. But here's what happened. So my husband bought me this. And then he bought me grains, y'all. What he bought me was hard white wheat seed packets, which is technically, he bought me grains, but they were basically for growing wheatgrass, maybe. That's what I used them for. Because I remember I grew them, I used them, but you know, when he looked at, because I was like, see if you can find out how long I've had this. So he looked on Amazon and he got into 2015. So before I even had my YouTube channel, he had bought me this. And I was like, why did I never use it? And so he went and he was like looking to see if he bought me any grains or anything like that. And he found that he had bought those, and they were, y'all, they were seed packets. And so his heart was in the right place. But after that, I just kind of, I think I felt like I didn't know where to get the grains. I didn't know what Azure Standard was at the time. And I wasn't sure what I was doing. And it just kind of, I don't know. And then I probably just got distracted and forgot about it, to be fair. But anyway, the bug has bitten again. And I have used the grain meal. And I am actually, if you've seen my Instagram or Facebook, you know that I was really happy with the bread that I made, and I made it using this grain meal. So I will do an official like review, and I'll use it for you in an upcoming video, but I think this one is long enough. And so on that note, I will talk to you later, guys. I love you. And leave in the comments, what is the best deal you've ever gotten at a flea market or a thrift store? And if you have a favorite flea market or a thrift store, let me know in the comments below what it is and what you get there or what you have gotten there. I would love to hear it. So I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.